Welcome to the Podnas with Face, Pat, and Tiz.
What up, guys? Welcome to the Podnas, a show with three friends separated by distance, connected by brotherhood, having weekly conversations that you can join in on. I am one third of the Podnas, your boy Tiz, as always, with my two co-hosts.
What's up, man? It's Space down here in the country. Also with my other homeboy.
It's your boy, the Padawan, up here at 757 Southeast Virginia. Either way, I'm going to fuck up the intro.
He lives somewhere out there.
I live somewhere. Southeast. I said Southwest. I'm not in Roanoke.
We gonna keep that one.
Oh, yeah, that's going in there. That is going in there. We still three. We are actually, we're like 4 for 4 now because there was a whole thing that happened before this. So, listeners, you won't get that, but Patreon, have fun with that this week. Anyway, so yeah, I don't. Give me a second. Y'all go.
All right, man. So started off this week, man. I will start our topics off this week, man. My first topic this week is basically like, excuse me, the definition of a man and what it is to be a man. Not only in cultural standards and the differences in how different genders see them from what we know as far as three guys dealing with women most of our lives, and also generational differences from our age, the age before us, and the age underneath us, and the generations to come. So, me personally, I was always raised to see a man as the head of the household, the protector, the provider, the center of strength, the classical male figure that's always shown to be portrayed in the household. Me personally, I was raised by my mother. Didn't have a father figure in my life, so my mother was that center of strength. So my mother taught me a lot of elements of not only just how to be a man, but how to just survive. So it was more of surviving that was taught rather than how to be a man. So how to be a man was learned more like on my own through trial and error as I grew and as I grow and continue to grow. So I mean, it's not just a learn something and stop process. Continue to grow. So as I get older, I will learn continuous concepts of how to protect myself as being a better man. Um, I feel that depending on male or female, and seeing is different because from having girls as children and being raised by women, I see the differences of how they view a man, what they think a man is supposed to be versus what other men say. Most men are going to coincide with that general male standard is being promoted through time, and females view it as what they've been told a man should be because once again they are females, so in essence they can have a true idea of what a man should be in his mentality. They only know what they should think a man should be. So once again, the protector provider is told to them, make sure he has a good job, make sure he's this, make sure he's that. Depending on different cultures, you may have different agendas or different uh, stats they want you to meet as far as being a man.
Mm-hmm.
Some cultures may travel, make sure he has land, make sure he has cattle, make sure he has this in different countries.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, the different cultural differences equivalent to what a man should be, but that's in their culture. Their culture might not see the same thing as the traditional that we've been taught in our culture, you feel me? Or in America, I should say, because most people in America have that same male ideal. Males aren't weak; they don't show emotion. But as
Mm-hmm.
time progresses and we come into these new generations, we see that it's no problem with showing emotions. You feel me? It takes a strong man to show emotions, and these sayings that come out these days. Me personally, I'm an emotional person. You feel me? Like
Right.
there ain't nothing wrong
Right.
with it. But you find the people that who are emotional, who don't show their emotions, are the most volatile people who have anger problems. So it's best for those people to express those emotions and not feel bottled up. Because it's always been said when you bottle stuff up, you explode. So how many times have we seen a lot of men explode for no reason? Just get mad and explode for no reason. They got all that inside internal stuff bottled up because they're conditioned not to show it. So I mean, to a woman that may be seen as weak because of the condition. Men don't do this, men don't do this. And to a man,
Right.
that may be seen as weak. But to a man himself, is he going to see himself as weak or is he going to understand what he's actually feeling and going through and progressing and knowing this is natural for me to feel this? I'm still being a man, even though I'm letting my emotions show. What y'all think?
Um, I think as far as like the definition of being a man, I think it definitely depends on like what your culture is, as far as what you're going to individually identify. But to me, like I think universally, it means like you should be a pillar of strength. And by strength, I don't mean like the necessarily like the toxic values of like you got to be like overly aggressive and like compete at every single thing and you know what I'm saying, be all like angry and volatile and like ready to fly off the handle at the least little bit. Like I don't mean in that way. I mean more like being there to be able to be emotionally available and like bend yourself and like work on yourself and modify yourself to be a better person as far as like competing against some of our natural instincts. Like I think it is some biological things that we have to overcome to kind of fight off some of that hypersexualization, that hyper aggression mentality that's not only been like kind of pounded into everybody's psyche over generations of that being just like the norm. Like I think also is like it's some biological stuff to that. Whereas like when you think of a male of a lot of mammal species, a lot of their job involves them having to have those natural instincts to be the person that goes out and either protects the group or actually goes and get the food, depending on what mammal it is. You know what I mean? So I think that like because of that, the same way we can overcome those biological urges and not cheat if we want to or not, you know what I'm saying? I think we just gotta make more of those choices to like to really start breaking those like generational bounds, I guess. Like I think the fact that like you said, Face, like you are more emotional. You know what I'm saying? Like you're teaching your kids it's okay to show emotion. Like you don't have to like walk around all bottled up, like stoic, like nothing's happening. Like it's okay to feel angry or sad or happy or whatever your emotion is. I think that that's the type of stuff that like builds that. Because for me, like I got my manhood or like my first lessons in what it was to be a man from my grandfather, Papa Simi. He was my great grandfather, and like from 0 to 8, he was the only real man in my life because my dad was non-existent. So like for me, I learned a lot of good things from him. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I learned my loyalty to, you know what I'm saying, my wife and my like strong like value and faith, being faithful to her, like comes from me watching him be very faithful to his wife for like Jesus, like almost 50 some years, you know what I'm saying? Like straight. And he was like rock solid. Like there's no stories I ever heard about him that like, well, you know, he was off on the side, you know, back like, nah, he seemed to be pretty solid. So like for me, just seeing him with her all the time, it like showed me like, despite what I see around me and like even my mom's situation at times, like I got to see a stable dude with a stable lady. So I learned that. That was good. You know what I'm saying? I learned, you know what I'm saying, a lot of like, it's good to be a person that can be handy and it's good to be able to do for yourself. So like my thoughts behind like me wanting to always make sure I'm the one that fixes stuff if it's broken, or me making sure that if something needs to be built, I'm the one that puts my hands on it. You know what I mean? Like, and being really hands-on with just making sure that like if something's wrong, I'm the one that goes and gets the screwdriver, this drill, the saw, whatever it is, and I'm the one that gets to it. You know what I mean? Like I get that from him because I watched him like if someone's wrong on the house, he'd climb up on the ladder on the roof, get the hammer and the nails out and get to fix it. You know what I'm saying? He get the drill. So I watched that kind of get up and go, like take care of home from him. But then I also learned like some of those toxic behaviors. Like it took me until I was like older, like really like almost 30 years old to really like get it to the point where I started to feel comfortable, like just really it's okay to just let emotions completely out and start to feel. And I still didn't even really start it, I would say, to be honest, until maybe the past 2 years, a year and a half. where I really just start to let myself just emote. And if I feel sad, it's okay to tear up. If I feel touched by something that I see, it's okay to feel that, like, and not just, oh, I got to be looking tough because I don't want nobody to think that I'm less than a man right now. I want to make sure I, like, you know what I'm saying? And a lot of that is just shedding that bravado, you know what I mean? And just letting go a lot of that. It's really ego, man, I think, that makes Americans, it's so hard for us to be a man. Because in other cultures, man, like, they're comfortable with their roles and it's okay for them to be just whatever it is and they're settled. It's us in America that's kind of like, like walking around like pent up all the time and like putting on a facade of what it is to be a man instead of actually just buckling down and doing the things that it takes to be a man, like handling your business and, you know what I'm saying, being emotionally available for your family. I was talking my butt off there.
You gotta elaborate on your point. That's all. What you think, Pat?
Yeah. And it gives me time to think about what I'm going to exactly say so I don't look like an asshole. So,
hey, man, let it flow, man.
Okay. Well, for me, to be quite honest, I feel like the one thing makes a man is knowing what his mistakes are and how to plan to correct them or better themselves, pretty much. And knowing when to ask for help. One thing that I am horrible at. I'm horrible at, and it's one thing I need to work on, pretty much. Just knowing, hey, you have resources. You just need to calm down about your situation and really think and plan, you know, in general. Well, I was talking about earlier with I was with my dad earlier today, and when I was looking at him and I was looking at his mannerisms, I was really just studying him so I can understand myself, you know, just learn myself a lot more, learn what I need to look out for. I asked him, I've been having stomach problems. I asked him about his stomach situation, you know, like, because if he has a situation, I'm going to have a situation. Just knowing, you know, knowing what I need to do to better myself. The one thing he told me was like, look, things are going to happen. And if it happens, it just happens, man. You just live your life and just move forward. You just gotta just live your life and keep moving forward or whatever. Because things are always going to happen. You knowing that things are always going to happen is going to make you more prepared. So I think it's just that or whatever. Now I will say, lately there is some role reversals in our society lately. Like just and
hell yeah.
and like all right. I'm single right now.
Mm-hmm.
Even in the dating realm, it feels like it's more females not taking the male role, but more just I'll say, yeah, somebody came in here. Or whatever. Yeah, more just man, you're gonna have to edit all this stuff out or whatever. Somebody just ran in here. But yeah, when it's just more people, it's just more women just like going forward and being like forward with it. They're not like waiting on you to say something. They'll just straight up come at you like this, that, and the third. I have my moments where I'm like, wait a minute. Are you trying to game me? Like you know, like you like I'm just having a simple conversation, but are you sly putting flirts in, you know, like I'm seeing that a lot more as far as is, and it's not the way that I would say it's a aggressiveness to it. It's not like the normal, you know what I'm saying? It's an aggressiveness to it. It just seems like I feel like with more women in the workplace and more women handling the household on their own or whatever, it is going to be a dynamic change on like how we view what our roles are. But I feel like that's more of a circumstantial thing. Like, you know, if you're in this certain situation, you're you're gonna handle that situation accordingly, no matter if you're a male or female or whatever. But I just feel like there's more women in male roles, and that may cause a certain change societal, like as far as society in general.
I guess I look at
piggyback on that one. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, like, I look at the gender role reversal more from a standpoint of like, is it really a role reversal, or is it just people realizing that there are certain overlaps in us as humans? Like, there's certain things that we've pushed on a certain gender that technically both genders are equipped to do. Now, there's always going to be certain things that one gender is going to be better equipped to do than another, and vice versa. That's just genetically and biologically how we've evolved to be as a species. But for the most part, our daily living, because of like technology, machinery, the type of lifestyles we live, like, ain't nobody going out there hunting buffalo no more.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like, a woman, for the most part, in 99% of industries, can do the same job as a man. So like, at this point, it's no longer a thing of where a man has to be the head of the household, or a woman has to be in the kitchen, or you have to be like those things that might have originated out of like necessity for the way the lifestyle of those people back in the day live is no longer like that. So really, it's just a norming of like, oh yeah, we can both do this. So why am I so pressed that I have to be the one that's here, or you have to be the one that's here? Let's actually start looking at and leveraging like just as individuals in this situation. What are you bringing to the table as a person? Because there are situations where the woman might be a bodybuilder and is strong as hell, and the man sitting there walking around the house, keep trying to fill this man role. Let me lift it. Get out of the damn way. She can lift you and the shit you trying to lift. Why are you sitting there pressed like you ain't lifted a Dorito without straining? And she's like it, or like you got a situation where like the man is better suited to be at home and be the homemaker, while the woman is better suited to go out and be the breadwinner. Why are we pressed to like see that as a bad thing, or vice versa? Like I think we got to get out of that as society and just realize it's not even a gender reversal. It's more just, oh yeah, for the most part, outside of extreme physical things, we can do the same stuff. So why not just do what's best for each situation, as opposed to pressing these boxes on people that don't really matter no more?
Yeah, to piggyback on what both of y'all said, because both of y'all basically spoke on equality for the gender. And that's what we are all continuously fighting for, is true equality. Like I said, you know me, I believe in equality to the utmost. So I believe everybody deserves the same treatment. But when it comes to the, how can I phrase it, the classical male view as far as king of the castle, when that gender role is reversed and you speak on the traditional, as they coin the phrase, that hen-picked husband or the hen-pecked husband role, that is somewhat of a reverse role, but in the same instance, they may not be better suited. As you stated, you feel like it's no problem if one is better suited. Go ahead and do your role. Like in my household, we're both suited to do either role. So regardless of who's at home, everything's gonna get done just like the other one's at home. Whoever got to go to work, that person's going to work there at that time. That's it. It is. We're equal partners. But when you come to those households where, because you know all households aren't equal, you have some tables that 50 ain't butts to the table on both sides. You have some households where you got 90 and 10, where the man may be bringing in a 10 and that woman's bringing in a 90. But still in the household, that man still may feel like he want to make the decision, or he did this because he must feel like he must still reach to some level of masculinity, even though he's still striving to attain that. Because the woman shouldn't be put down and may feel any way because she is the primary breadwinner and she can do anything, while this man may not be able to, or he can sing the cook nothing. You feel me? Like we're all 80s babies. it's a damn sure I can get in the kitchen and cook. And so if my wife ain't home, kids still get fed.
Mm-hmm.
And if I ain't
Right.
home, they still get fed. So regardless of who's here, like I said, everything is everything. But when it comes to a household where the man can provide and can do everything, but the woman is more headstrong, you feel me, like or more gung ho about being the boss or wanting to be in charge, and she wants that alpha role, and
Mm-hmm.
he wrote the roles reversed, and he being a henpecked husband, I should say, and allowing the toxic treatment to go in. That's when it comes to that real reversal of roles. You feel me? Because you know that in the reverse instance, when the man is doing that to the woman, that's the classical view throughout the ages. That's what you see classical. But to reverse that, they're seen as something so negative in the life. But on the counterpart, it's seen as still positive. So my viewpoint is like, sure, I don't view either view. I don't have a viewpoint as far as either being negative because everybody to each his own. There's some households that work on either way. There's some women who don't want to make no decisions, who want to let the husband take over everything, and they feel perfectly comfortable doing that. And some husbands who sit back like, I ain't got to do something. I ain't got to make no decisions. Let my wife run the household. She can do everything. I just got to sit for the ride. And I'm totally happy with that. But on the wide scale appeal, both are seen as negative in some light. You feel me? So I mean, it's come to that fine line where we have to find some equality and find a middle ground where it's seen as good or holistic. Everybody sees the middle ground as what needs to be done going forward or what needs to be taught going forward because we have too many old school ideas as far as households and how they should be run still being taught. So you see a lot
Mm-hmm.
of still domestic violence for offspring is an offspring of this, and you see a lot of that going from okay, you have a old school taught man who still wants to do this, but you have a new school woman who ain't gonna tolerate it. So that's when you have these constant clashes in relationships and this toxic behavior continuing. The role reversal to me, it's a catalyst for negative stuff in relationships if people don't have the communication levels they should have. So
I think you pretty much said it with that exact last sentence. Like, if the communication ain't right, that's where the problem is in any of that. Like,
Mm-hmm.
because I think that, like, in the situation of the 90-10, if the man bringing in 10 and the woman bringing in 90, as if that man is better at creating plans, then
hmm
that might be what works for them in that household, for him to still be the person that is the primary, like, planner and logistics maker for that household. It might be better for him to make those decisions if his brain still works better for that, and he's just not in the financial position. Like, I think for one, that's a big thing our society has to get away from, is just thinking about stuff from a financial aspect. Like, who runs the house is not necessarily who makes the money. Like, there's been times in our relationship where, depending on whoever was in the better position mentally to run the house, that's who's making the decisions at that moment, because the other person, it would be like, if we're talking about, hey, at this point, I am more financially sound. Why would the other person be still making the financial decisions in that household? Like, that's stupid. That just doesn't make logical sense for that house. So, like, I think that, again, it's like really based on communication, so that it doesn't get to anybody being henpecked, whether it's the woman or the man. Like, in
Mm-hmm.
any extreme, henpecked is like an extreme. That means that that's a toxic situation, regardless of
hmm
whatever the dynamics or the roles are in that household. That's just a toxic. Somebody's in that situation toxic, whether it's both of them or one of them. That's, they need to get away from each other. But if you're talking about a situation where, like, financially it may be different, or the man may be taking up more household roles that are traditionally labeled as what a woman should, quote unquote, do, then I don't feel like that should be a problem at this point in the world, because women are getting to the point where that wage gap stuff is closing. And in a lot of industries, the wage gap has flipped to the point where women are on average making more money in certain industries than men. So, like, it's getting to a point where if you look at per capita, like, women are coming out a lot of times more educated, and they're coming out like more prepared to run a household. So like, I think it's stupid if you are a man that is coming from a place where you have never had to make those decisions, or you have a track record of like you've been on your own for years, but you fucked up a lot on your own for years, and you keep getting evicted or you keep getting fired from jobs and shit. How you gonna come in and tell and run anything in the household where this woman is sitting here, been working at this job for 7 straight years, got her degree, she ain't like she been living in this one place for all this time. Like it doesn't make sense. So I think it really just comes down to like, again, like Faye said, the communication, the man and the woman, or the man, like whoever, the two people in that situation coming together and like putting their strengths and weaknesses as an individual on the table, and then making like a balance of like, okay, so I'm strong in these areas, so this is where I will take charge because this is where I am more suited to be in charge. You're better in these areas. You should take charge here because this is where you're better suited, and then we go from there. It's just like our partnership in business, like when we do the podcast, like everybody does what they are more suited to do, like as opposed to throwing somebody into an arena where where like, what? I don't know shit about this. Why would I be doing this? This is not, you know what I mean? Like, I think that type of logic goes to everything, to business, like any type of relationship. It got to be a thing of like, it comes together balanced. It can't be anybody doing something that they're not suited to do. And if you're communicating with each other in a healthy way where you're like able to really recognize who you are and the other person to do the same, you're gonna be good. But if you get into anybody being henpecked, whether it's the man or the woman, then that's just toxic, and they need to leave each other. They need to leave each other, just like Face the left the pod.
Things happen, you know.
I'm right here top of people.
No, I get it. I think as long as nobody's feeling disrespected or being used, you know, I think that's all it is. As long as nobody's feeling disrespected or used, you that's all it is. It becomes a thing where that person, as long as if that person is doing like y'all said, and he's planning and working with the person that's doing the 90% or whatever, then that's good. When the 10% become dead weight, pretty much, then it's like the other person is really doing 100%.
Boy, I am so glad you just said that. So that leads me into my kind of the next thing I wanted to actually bring up. So like when you said dead weight, speaking of dead weight, I was watching a podcast called I Am Athlete. It's Brandon Marshall, Chad Johnson, Channing Crowder, and who is it? My other guy name used to be the running back for the Jaguars. Damn, a beast too. Fuck, Fred something. But anyway, on the podcast, they were kind of talking about survivor's guilt, and I was wondering, like, as three brothers that have kind of gone through and like at different points in our life, whether it be us growing up from kids and going through adversity and living in adverse situations where the people around us were also struggling as we were, or whether it was being as an adult going through different situations where you were struggling and the people around you were too, but then you made it out and they didn't. Like, do y'all ever feel bad for like those along the way that like, damn, I wish I could have got you out too. I wish I could have done more to like bring you along? Or do y'all feel like whatever on that type of thing? And in that same vein, now that we're like more in like successful places and that type of thing, do you ever have imposter syndrome where you feel like I'm here, but like I ain't really supposed to be here? I hope they don't find out that I don't really know what the hell I'm doing or anything like that. Either or, y'all can take it away. And then
I'll tell you first. I used to have the survivor's guilt, and I always felt like when I got to a point, I need to put others up. That was our motto for the cruise. I mean, we pulled up in Jay-Z, and we're like, everybody knew Click is rich and Click is rugged. We can all be each other's crutches. So I felt like when I was up, it was my duty and my job to hold my brothers up. So when we needed places to stay, if I had a place, we all had a place to stay. If I had dough, we all had dough. If I had a spot to hustle in, we all had a spot to hustle in, and whatever. Until it bit me in my ass. You feel me? So you gotta learn a life lesson. You gotta pick and choose who you help pull up. You feel me? Everybody ain't supposed to be pulled up. Everybody don't deserve it. Everybody don't deserve that good friend. You feel me? And only certain people who you help are gonna appreciate that help that you reach out and give. And so I've learned in life, survivor's remorse, survivor's guilt. And so I put to my mental. It's like I don't even consider it no more. Me personally. Those who I've helped, they know who they are, period. And that's good enough for me. Those who think I have not helped them, that's good for me too. Life moves on. I put it to what my mother used to tell me. Everybody come into your life for a reason or a season. So those who gone, it is what it is. Those who stayed, it is what it is. I mean,
right.
I just say I ain't got the time. And what's the other term you coined? What's the other coin you use?
Like, have you ever felt imposter syndrome where you have like been in a situation where you are been asked to do something or you've been put in like an opportunity and you look around and you like, okay, I don't exactly know how I got here. I don't really know what I'm doing, but okay, let me figure this out. Please, Lord, I hope they'll never figure out that I don't know what the hell I'm doing until I figure this out. I hope I can figure it. Like, and the reason I say that is so when I was thinking about the survivor's guilt, right? Like, so for me, like, as soon as I heard them talking about that, I immediately thought about like Bleak and like some of the other fellas along the way that like I was like, dang man, like they was in the same situation as us, and like it's like little moments I can look back to like, damn, I chose this and they didn't, and that's why we here. I wish I could have did more to like nudge them my way. And when thinking about that, I realized that like, damn, and now I'm sitting here successful in a career where like, to be honest, like when I first got into it, like had no idea what I was doing. And I had a severe case of imposter syndrome. Like I'm looking around a bunch of people who are trained to do this. They got all of these degrees and I'm starting this same exact career, but I have none of that. Not a degree to my name. I'm a 3-time, then got put out of college. Coming from, you know what I'm saying, pretty much fresh off the street, like dug into it and getting to how I live pretty much. And now I'm in this professional world with all these people that know exactly what they're doing and they using these acronyms that I don't know about and they using these lingo and they all know what the hell each other talking about, but I'm sitting there like, so like, I don't know, it just made me like wonder like, is that something that y'all have ever had experienced in any arena in your life or like any opportunity you've been a part of where you just been like, oh shit. And how did y'all
I think everybody who achieves to do better in life at one point or another has felt that or will feel that because you always thrust into a new environment where you don't have experience at that new level yet. So you're going to feel like, damn, what am I doing here? Am I supposed to be here? But it's only confidence and once again self-awareness in that first level or the smell theory. You got to motivate yourself. Like even if you feel like you're not supposed to be there, it's through acknowledgement of yourself that you realize, yeah, I can do it. You feel me? So I mean, I felt it before because I mean, I've gone to different levels of management. I've gone to different jobs. Everybody, the first day of the job, no one goes to, I got this. I know what I'm doing. No, because you don't. It's your first day. You got to think, am I suited for this? Can I really do this? Who hasn't had that thought on the first day of a job? Because I've taught for a long time in the teaching environment. I went to school every day thinking, am I right for me? Can I do this? Can I reach these kids? Can I do what I'm supposed to do? You feel me? And the job that I got now, property management. I went to the first day not thinking, yeah, I got this. No, I ain't know what the hell I was doing, so I got to go in and be realistic. You feel me? But in life altogether, I don't feel it because I feel like I know what I'm doing. You feel me? I feel like I was raised the right way. I picked the right decisions, and I know I'm being confident. In that aspect, nah. But going through life at different stages, you will feel that. I mean, that's just me personally. Some people may feel like, nah, I'm always confident. I always know what I'm doing. But
Right.
I say those people are stupid as shit.
I will second that motion there. Who would say you, Pat?
I would say, well, to me, well, first of all, I didn't grow up with around a lot of people. Like growing up in Portsmouth or whatever, like I was pretty much reserved. Majority of the people I knew were like family or whatever, so I'm gonna be around them anyway. And like if anybody was going through something or whatever, it was like the way they raised me is like I couldn't really tell if anybody was going through something, pretty much. So and then in my own situation, I feel like I haven't got to that level of status that I want to even feel survivor's guilt yet. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like once I get to that point or whatever, and I look back at the people that I actually care about, yeah, I'll probably reach my hand out as soon as possible, and and the people I help or whatever, that's going to end it right there. That survival skill, as far as the imposter syndrome, anytime I've ever started doing anything, I probably felt that at first. Like in general, like the job I currently have now, like it's a lot of technical stuff that I got to learn. And then I just learn one thing at a time, pretty much. And and didn't front like I knew everything. I just learn one thing at a time. And then after a while, like my status on, like as far as my y'all throwing me off.
Yo, I'm trying to figure out what the hell. Yo, face just
throwing me off,
his
man.
face just turned into like this weird Joker smile out of nowhere, and he just started grinning. I'm like,
yo, I thought I was saying something stupid.
No, I was.
Yeah, but
I apologize. Oh no,
yeah,
you
that's
good.
crazy.
I apologize.
But as far as like my work ethic and things like that, I noticed that my stat started going up as soon as I started learning more stuff, but it never was really down because I still had a good work ethic. It's just that I had to learn the more technical part of it in general. And then just anything I ever started off at first.
I see your tongue didn't get that memo to get the technical parts of it. It stumbled all through that damn word, didn't it?
Yeah, it does its own thing, man. It does whatever it wants. Y'all should try to hear me when I try to explain stuff, man.
That boy said the word that ethic.
I'm sorry, yo.
No, you good. I just said it.
Matter of fact, I need to drink something. It's probably because I'm fucking cut mouth. Whatever. Drink break.
And he grabbed soda.
Nah, I can stomach aching. That's why I grabbed the soda.
Oh, I got you. Yeah, don't be going to boo-boo on the pod.
Yeah, man. Dad tried to feed me. I got a whole rib left. But on the next, I guess, Face, you got any last words before I go into the? No, anybody?
I think I hit my point.
Okay. But yeah, next topic. All right, 2020. Your soundtrack for 2020. 2020 has been apocalypse now. Seemed like every single month or whatever, and we're at the end now officially, or whatever. So I started off. What was your 5 and 10 albums, or just 5-10 artists, or 5 to 10 types of music in general that got you through, pretty much. I'll go through mine just to give y'all an example. I listened to, like, I got into the point where it used to be just bars for me or whatever. And then now it's more like the sound and the vibe or whatever that'll get me through. So most of my vibes now, I just have this like listen to either a chill vibe, and then it is certain things that like just to relax me when I get off work or whatever, and then things that make me restore the feeling, like whatever give me that nostalgic feeling when I really first like get into music and stuff like that. But to start off, all right. One, he's an underground artist, and he's from the West Coast, and his name Jay Worthy, and it is it's 2 albums they had me to basically just I don't know. I randomly was just scouting through music or whatever, and then it was title was on basically shuffle or whatever, random. They just playing random songs in the vibe, and then he just popped up, and he has this it's like a West Coast I want to say just the chill, like it almost feel like like a West Coast Currency type vibe, pretty much, or whatever. Y'all know Currency Spitter. They used to rap with Wayne and everything. Yeah. So he came out with 2 albums. It was like one of them was 2 for 1. Name one was 2 for 1, and the other one was Eat When You're Hungry and Sleep When You're Tired or whatever. So if y'all ever want to vibe out or whatever, that's just my random pick that and ever since I started listening to him is like I've been listening to his songs on repeat throughout the year. These are all random, pretty much.
You got it.
Freddie Gibbs. I've been really getting into Freddie Gibbs. Like over the years, like his just consistency in general.
Yeah.
Or whatever. And he seemed like it's like he has an up-to-date flow, but it's like it's almost an old school vibe mixed with new school in general. Like he had Alfredo this year with The Alchemist or whatever. And hence the name Alchemist, Freddie Gibbs or whatever. And then the past couple of albums he had, like before that, it was he had one with Currency. It was called Fetty, and he had a song called Willie Lloyd. And I was like, all right, I'm gonna listen to this because of the beat and the way he rode the beat, pretty much. But yeah, much so pause. Y'all know what the all right. So next person I've been listening to, another West Coast dude named Larry June or whatever, and he kind of have like it's kind of like a Pharrell beat wise or whatever. It almost feels like one of those like 80s synthic type vibes or whatever, synthesizer type vibes or whatever. And then similar to Jay Worthy, and it's kind of like if you kind of like Currency and Pharrell mix together, for lack of a better way of explaining it. Then my next one, Big Sean album. I thought his album was like perfect, and I never really was like a big Sean fan.
No, he did his thing this year. I ain't gonna even front. He did his thing.
But just the way it was put together and arranged and everything, his performance on it seemed like he had a lot more control on his fast flow and everything. It was just a well put together album, so I had to give him that props. There's this is this band named the Free Nationals, and it's like modern day R&B. Daniel Caesar's up there singing on a song called Beauty and Essex. It's I think you would like that. I think you would like their music, Face. It gives me kind of an Outcast type vibe or whatever, soul, like neo soul type vibe or whatever. But yeah, their name is Free Nationals. And then I'm missing anybody else before I say and Griselda. Griselda has been restoring the feeling. Every month I can count on them to give me some bars when I feel like I have a deficiency on bars. Like, and the album they came out, WWCD, what would Machine Gun do or whatever, it's 2 songs up there. It's Cruiserweight Coke and Allah Sent Me. The beats, man, it just It just give me that griminess that I've been lacking. You know what I'm saying? And then Conway, he's always got bars. And then that last Benny the Butcher album, Burden of Proof. As soon as that intro came on, I was like, yo, this is giving me an old Jay-Z vibe. Like that intro just sound like when Premier did the first beat off of was it Jay's second album or whatever? A Million. That jump. A Million.
Mm-hmm.
It has that vibe. Like they really restored the feeling for me this year. But yeah, those are been my soundtrack to 2020 pretty much.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
You want it first, Face, or you want me to jump in here on this one?
You can go ahead and jump in on that one. Yeah.
All right, so for my soundtrack for 2020, I ain't really have necessarily albums per se,
Mm-hmm.
more either bodies of work or specific songs that were kind of just like what I've been like bumping pretty much since those songs came out. So pretty much gospel has been like the main soundtrack, to be honest. Like a lot of my riding, that's been I don't know, like, y'all know I got PTSD from car accidents. So like when I'm riding in the car, that kind of soothes me. And just this year, I feel like in a lot of ways, this is the first year I'm able to relate to certain pieces of it where like it's resonated with me in a different way. So I've been really heavy on that. As far as just everything else, everything by Rumor, obviously, like he's and this year especially, like he's really stepped into the visual aspect even more, as well as the genre business. So like I really like what he's done as far as like the little mini movie he made, just like what his brain is somewhere else in music, and like the stuff he hears is just ridiculous. So like everything by him. Everything by Toby Digwe. Obviously, y'all know that's like the guy of the group me. You know what I'm saying? Like every time we look, somebody popping something up with him. But everything by him, but specifically, especially lately, the songs "Eat" and "Million," they've been like part of like a 5-6 song playlist that's been just like every day, all day for the past like few months. Has just been on it. Everything by Lil Baby, I don't know why, but his flow and just what he's doing as far as melodically on beats is just sonically amazing, and it's just like I really like it. It's just good music to me. It just feels good. So yeah, everything by him pretty much. The dude Rod Wave, 2 songs specifically, The Greatest and Rags to Riches. Them songs been like literally the soundtrack. Like the Greatest was like how my year started off, feeling inside, and then I hit a dip, and then Rags to Riches came right out at the right moment when my mind was starting to formulate. Like we were starting to like really think through the podcast. We were really starting to like just a whole bunch of stuff in my life, like professionally and just internally in my spirit starting to get right. And I feel like that those 2 songs kind of encapsulate like how I started the year and how I'm ending the year, and just the real spirit and vibe of like where I'm at. It's like if I had an Instagram post, it would be like those 2 songs would be like Mood in January, Mood in December. And then since the podcast started, I've kind of got a throwback that just been, I've literally listened to it every day. I listened to it right before we hopped on here tonight. Nipsey Hussle, Grinding All My Life. That specific song, like I was watching Shannon Sharp's podcast, and I don't know why, but I almost teared up at just the intro when that song played for some reason. And it was like just, I don't know, like that song allows me to like release all of the pent up feelings that I have, like just like, I've been just wanting, like all my life, I feel like I've been getting to this moment of like feeling free enough to really like do what it is that like genuinely like I've always wanted to do something like this. Like this has been something I could never formulate it in words. I could never put it all the way together. But like I feel like my heart has been yearning for like this moment. And like I feel like that song like literally encapsulates that whole feeling of like yeah, I have been grinding all my life for this moment right here, like, and everything that he talks about in that song. Like, I feel like I've been through from like having to knuckle up to the gang life to like just everything in my life. Like, he said it perfectly. You know,
Yo,
that's
I've been calming down on the Nipsey Hussle music because I didn't realize how much of a fan I am of Nipsey Hussle until he was taken away. Like that really hurt me. Like it almost became hard to actually listen to him for a while, but I still got like all his albums since he came out. And I don't know what it was. It just seemed like it it crept up like in the back of my mind. I was just a Nipsey Hussle fan and didn't even realize it. But I listened to all his stuff. I like my Cali friends or whatever they that's been around in the beach or whatever. If I play certain stuff, they'd be like surprised that I actually have it over here or whatever. But that was like that it man, that's why I just be when Benny got shot, I was like, oh man, not another one that I actually like. Like it's always the ones that I like the most, but not to go on a tangent. My bad.
So, my
2020
soundtrack for 2020. My soundtrack is always going to be an eclectic soundtrack because I listen to some of just random stuff. So, I've been really riding this CeeLo song, Basshead Jazz. Really ain't got many words. It's about the actual feel of the song. You feel me? Like, it's like my equilibrium. It keeps me balanced. You feel me? Like,
vibes.
and I had forgot about the song for a long time, but I found it this year because I was just ciphering through different meanings of the song, and I stumbled upon it again. I made sure I kept it this time. I listened to a lot of Anita Baker this year. It just like the melody, like her
Who?
voice.
Who is that?
Anita Baker. Anita Baker.
Okay, you can't never go wrong with Anita.
Oh yeah, can't ever go wrong. Of course, Rumor and Toby. Of course, both of them. Of course, they listen to a lot of Nick Condition. I'm a R&B head. Um, don't listen to too many new rappers out there. So I went back and listened to the first T.I. I'm serious, Joe. I listened to that. I'm always my
Classic.
Outkast tip. So I've been going cycling through all the Outkast albums. I'm stuck on what is it, ATL is on right now. I'm stuck on that one right now. Riding music, some of everything, man. I forgot the dude's name. It's a country artist. The name of the song Tennessee Whiskey. Y'all listen to that. It's been on Tennessee Whiskey. It's a groove. Like it's something different, but it's on some country stuff. But you listen to
I actually
the
like country
words,
music, so I'll try it.
you feel like you ride with it. You like roll up one, ride with it. Lastly, the baby. If any new artists I gotta mention, is the baby. Uh, I like his music.
Mm.
His flow is the same on a lot of stuff, but that makes it
On
easy. You feel
everything.
me? You feel me? Like I like that. You feel me? He ain't gotta always have to switch it up. You feel me? Like if you have a core audience of fans who like what you do, do what
Oh,
you
he
do.
ain't
You
gonna
feel me?
switch
Like
it up. He got that Frank's
you feel me?
Red Hot
It's too
flow.
many.
He put that shit
You
on
feel me? It's too
everything.
many mumble rappers out here. That mumble rap. I mean, if I listen hard enough, I can understand what you're saying. But I ain't trying to listen that hard while I'm trying to enjoy the music. Like, nah. But that's my soundtrack in 2020. This is a bunch of eclectic group of music all thrown together. It's a different vibe of how you feeling at the moment. I think that's about it.
I love it. I think my listeners out there, go ahead and compile all of our playlists, put them together, and you got a banging soundtrack for the year. Like you got something to ride out to for New Year's Eve that will literally take you from the party to the after party to the at home after party. Because once you hit that Anita and that Mint Condition, oh, it's going down.
Yeah,
Mm.
You and your loved ones is going to be loved
yeah,
ones. For
Mm.
sure.
yeah.
For sure. So speaking
Definitely.
of the soundtrack to my year, this guy has been the if the music we just talked about has been the soundtrack to my year, this guy has been the video or the movie of my year.
The comedy.
He has been my comedic relief. He has been my example of what happens when talent is not manifested to its full potential. He is my just this picture says it all. Brother Umar, for our weekly Umar update, I actually don't have a whole lot, but the little bit I do have is kind of crazy, as always. He is ending the year out in a bang. So next week, guys, when y'all see the Umar recap for the year, oh, man. So anyway, since the last time we talked about Umar, he's continued with this pattern of behavior he has where every wintertime, he not only ramps up his erratic behaviors because it starts to get cold and he starts to try to find a tour to go on where he can find hotels and stuff to stay in. He also always finds somebody to argue with and beef with. So he can generate more fervor, get more people riled up, and as always, get back to his donations. So now he's beefing with Tariq Nasheed over the Aboriginal Addos, the people who believe that, Africans were here first and were the Native Americans, as opposed to the people who believe that the Africans came over on the slave trade. So he's arguing with this man and mad at him. And he's been throwing shots at Tariq Nasheed, but now he's trying to hide his hand and act like, well, I don't know. I'm not going to be beefing with this man. And he's been on the past couple of lives, he's been trying to not name Tariq Nasheed, but we know it's him.
I seen it. Yeah.
So that's how he's want to end the year, beefing with another black man. This is the third time he's beefed with Tariq Nasheed specifically since he was on the movie, Hidden Colors? When it first started, he was beefed with Tariq Nasheed after that, and then they had squashed it. Then he brought it back up again and was like doing one of his tirades with his Pittsburgh hat on, with his Phillies hat on, when he was going King Kong crazy. So that's what one thing he's been up to. He's been still on his book tour amidst all of this, amidst these erratic lives where he's talking about Tariq Nasheed and doing other random stuff with random Instagram filters and just doing really weird stuff at this point. Rubbing his hands all crazy on the live and shaking his hands and then pulling a Twix bar across the screen for no reason. Just really weird and erratic stuff that you wouldn't expect from a well put together professional psychologist that's supposed to be teaching babies. So as his book tour continues, a lot of people have started to now ask, well, what's going on? Why have you stopped working on the school? Because how are you going to work on the school if you haven't been at the school since, what was that? Whenever it was when he had the second and the fourth, when he had the anti-protest, but won't nobody really there to protest. But we ain't saying him back at the school since then. Since then, he's been out on the road. But he keep claiming that he's collected donations because he want to have the school fixed by the spring. But how you gonna have the school fixed by the spring when you're not there to actually have the contractors work on the school? So that's another thing that's starting to make people question him and start to call him a scammer even worse. And now, as of today, I have confirmed, and I had confirmed it via Umar's Instagram. A lawsuit has been filed against Umar by a man in New Jersey. Now, this paperwork that Umar showed in his Instagram photo, where he claims that he is being, under legal ramifications. The letter that he shows, the letterhead looks exactly like the letterhead that I saw a week and a half ago on a couple of other YouTuber sites, but I wanted to wait because I wanted to make sure it was something that was actually official. It wasn't like a scam or people trying to be funny or just, Umar is a kooky, scheming scammer, but I still don't want to go off of no fake stuff. But now Umar's confirmed it, and this looks like the same paperwork that a dude named Max V World on YouTube actually read through. And this lawsuit is about fraud, and it literally chronicles with pictures and timestamps and dates of Umar's own lives where stuff was crazy. Everything that I've been talking to y'all about since I brought Umar up on this podcast is chronicled in this lawsuit with pictures with the dates that he said it, everything from him talking about killing 10% of all black boys to him talking about young girls and their rotten cookies. Then he's talking about middle school girls, talking about they got rotten cookies and they're too fast. To him, like all of this stuff is chronicled throughout this, as well as every issue he had with GoFundMe, when his GoFundMe got messed up, when PayPal canceled him because of fraud, when like they got all of these receipts. So it's gonna be crazy for 2021 for Umar. So look forward to the recap for the year-end recap next week, where I literally run down Umar's entire year of 2020. And it has been a fucking doozy, bro. A fucking doozy, god damn it. Oh my God. So yeah, that's been this week's Umar update.
Yeah. Question, Ted.
Ask it.
So, what did Umar disagree with? What side was he on when he with the topic of was Africans already here in America?
He said he's against tribalism. So he said he believes that Tariq Nasheed and him and them that believe this are really trying to like separate themselves from the greater group of Africans worldwide. And he's all about Pan-Africanism. So he's still standing on what he at least, that's one thing I've seen him at least stand strong on. He has always said he's Pan-African, and that's what he's saying he's against Tariq Nasheed on. But yeah, the verbiage, the terminology, the intonations, and the body language that he uses when he's talking about these people is the problem. Like you can disagree on ideologies, but when you look like you want to physically do something,
yeah, he got to get over that. Got to get over that shit
again. And if this is just a random YouTuber, cool. You telling me this is Logan or Jake Paul or KSI or one of these crazy people on YouTube that this is what they do for a living, is just do crazy stuff for reaction, cool. But this is a man who's claiming that he's trying to open a school. He wants us to give money to him to open a school to teach our black boys. And this is the behavior that I'm seeing from him. I would not this is not somebody that I would trust my child with.
Yeah.
In any shape, form, or fashion, especially when he's also going to talk about he's going to take black boys that get in trouble at his school into the black room when he will pound their chest in with a group of other black men.
I'm still trying to figure out, is he trying to be a professor or a rapper? Is he acting like he, Soon as the devil's beat, show me love. Man,
he's the only rapping I've seen was him drunk in the club, rapping Tupac. Talking about show me love.
Such a disappointment. He is such a disappointment.
A failure to the race.
Speaking of disappointments, random topic, actually more like random rant. For the stimulus, they planning to give us just $600. $600 freaking dollars. What is the point of government? What is the point? What do we need government for? Like at this point, I mean, we as logical people understand why we need government and this, that, and the third. But like, what is the point? Like, I thought the whole point was to protect the country, help out, in need or whatever. But like $600, we give more to the government in our lifetimes. You know what I'm saying? We give 6 million the times as 600 or whatever. Now I'm exaggerating. These are not exact freaking numbers in general, but we're in an actual crisis. And $600, these countries is giving their citizens like 1,000 each month, and they're in worse positions than America. You mean to tell me the richest country in America that brings in trillions in revenue, it has to be trillions in revenue because they got their trillions in debt, cannot spot 600 when like free healthcare, they have free healthcare if you're a politician. Politicians have free healthcare and security for life. You can't spot $600. Y'all get raises every year out of our tax money, but you can't spot more than $600. $600, that's all you can. That's it. That was my random time. It's just a random rant. Like,
I guess.
What's the point? Like, what?
I guess my question is, first of all, when do we get to 600? And then, second of all, can we get another 600 and a little bit too? Because I'm gonna keep taking this free damn money from the government because they owe me way more anyway.
Yeah.
And last year, the way they did me with my taxes, they can kiss my ass. So I need all my money back.
Exactly.
So let them keep sending it. So I ain't gonna complain. I ain't gonna look a gift horse in the mouth. Now, what I will say though is, for the people that need this money, like for me, this money gonna help me to continue to work on my podcast equipment, get some more sound equipment, some better. You know what I'm saying? Software, that type of thing, maybe a computer for like I'm gonna be able to use it for some fun. But for the people who need that money, that's messed up. Because like you're already like the disease ain't going nowhere. We're still in the same conditions that is causing these people to have even more economic hardships than they already having. And then you're basically telling them, well, hey, as we continue to pull back all of the programs that was at least getting you through, we're also not going to give you much either. So take this little 600 as we continue to pull back on the unemployment that you was able to get. As we continue to pull back on the small business loans that you were able to get. As we continue to pull back on all of these assistance programs that were actually helping people, we're also going to give you the short of the stick on how much we give you this time around with a stimulus. Like, how is that stimulating anything other than getting somebody like who's already buried 6 feet below in debt? Now they're what? 5 7/8 of a foot? Like what are we really giving these people here? So I think that's the messed up part. Like, I think it should be scaled. And I think that like the less you need the money, the less you should get. And then the more you need the money, give them a bigger check. But like, I'm cool with 600. But I know a lot of people that does nothing to really stimulate anything in their lives realistically. And I think it's just jacked up that at this point, we still doing this. Like, it's just like, here we go again. Government ain't shit again.
Don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. I'm gonna take the 600 or whatever because I wasn't expecting it. We supposed to be getting it next year, but that's why I'm complaining. It's more like, all right, what about the people that you haven't even gave them the first stimulus yet? They're still waiting on that, and they're in a even worse position. Like, and then you're just saying we're gonna give you another 600 or whatever. After we done put you in the office and all this other stuff, this is the best you can get out of it. But yeah, but say you face.
First thing, you can't say once we elected you in the office is all you can do because they've been working on this since before Biden got elected. So this is a little BS between the two parties that have been arguing on money because one want to save money, one want to give a whole bunch of money out. So $600 ain't nothing to no household because the average household makes less than $30,000 and that's below the quoted poverty line, and that's the average household income. $600 ain't nothing. It's grocery money. Thank you for the free groceries. But if you're trying to stimulate income or stimulate the economy, it takes money to make money. We all know that. And with the people who are supposed to be the specialists who know this, who run the facts, who see the numbers, they know what amount of money it's truly going to take each citizen to survive and not have that true economic hardship that we're all seeing a lot of people we know face. Now, as far as kids, when you say they should scale it, the only way for them to truly scale it, you can't go on the average person's yearly income because we all know people who don't have a job, period, who hustle for a living, and they don't have any reported income. So do they deserve the stimulus? Do they truly deserve the stimulus over somebody who has a job who's making, say, $32,000, but has $32,000 with 5 kids? That ain't no money.
Yeah, that's real.
So you gotta look at that. So how do you scale it? The only way to scale it is get real personal and go to the reported debt Now, if you look at somebody's reported debt, then you can truly scale it. But who wants somebody in their business like that?
Mm.
No, that's real. Did anybody else hear that loud beep? Or was that
Yeah.
just on my end? I was like,
I
what
did hear that
is a
too. I
truck
ain't know what
backing
it
up
was.
in the middle of my, like, what was that?
Somebody opened the microwave. I don't know.
Like, okay. I was like, okay, as long as somebody else heard that. Cause I was like, what in the freak? Cause I'm like, I'm for those that don't know, I record in my garage. So I'm sitting here and I'm like, yo, is something about to back up through my garage door? Like, what is happening right now? Like, why does it sound so close to me right now? And then I got some new headphones on, so the way stuff sounds is not my normal auditory experience. So I'm a little bit like still trying to get used to that. So okay, as long as I ain't tripping, hopefully y'all, you know what I'm saying, receive that message. Yeah, yeah. Beep, beep, beep.
I mean, that little $600 really ain't gonna do much, man. But my wife
It
told
ain't.
me tonight while we started recording that I think Trump is not gonna sign off on it because the money's too low, so he wants the citizens to have more money.
Come on
So,
now. Do
so
something
that'll be
right before you
one
leave.
positive thing. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, that'll be one positive thing to give the
Amen.
citizens who actually deserve and need that assistance to get that because there's a lot of people who can't work
Yeah.
because of their jobs have closed down, and a lot of people ain't hiring because when the mass layoffs come,
Mm-hmm.
you got a lot of people applying for a little bit of jobs. So
No, that's a big
everybody ain't
fact.
gonna get that job. You feel me? You might have a job hiring for 10 people, but you got 300 people applying for those 10 jobs.
Yeah, yeah. You preaching.
290 people gonna be sad. So
Mm-hmm.
you gotta do something to stimulate the income. I mean, sad to
Hell yeah.
say, the
For real, though, for
the,
once.
the only true thing that stimulates the income is war. War creates jobs.
Yeah.
Sad to say. That's the only thing that truly stimulates the income is war.
Well, it would be weed if they legalized marijuana.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm waiting on that. I'm talking about legal stuff, but we all know that the legalization of marijuana would drive tax revenue and crime rates down. We can go on a podium about that, but that's other shows to come.
No, that's real though. That's real. I can't argue with that there. Well, we'll say you on the going into our favorite part of the week, everybody. What face hates
Oh,
this
that
week?
right. Oh, we could definitely do that right now. So, 3 things I hate this week, man.
Yay!
I should. I watched a movie called Sneakerhead. Well, people ran around. It's a Netflix special. It's a good show, but just the concept of it, it's a cultural thing. The fascination for shoes,
Yeah,
fascination for sneakers and mine. And
that's a
as time
lifestyle.
go by, I've seen sneakers become more and more expensive, where they're up to a couple of $1,000. Sneakers sell for like $10,000, $40,000 for a pair of sneakers.
Yeezys.
Now, the thing that really pisses me off is black people's obsession with Jordans. It's a shoe. Black people used to shoot people over the Jordans.
Still
People used to get
do.
killed over these shoes. People used to
Yeah,
get to fight. Oh, you stepped in my J's. You stepped in my J's.
yeah.
I watched 2 people get to fighting. The fight was over. The dude that won looked at his shoes and like, hey man, you got to bleed on my J's. I should beat you up again. Fascination over these shoes.
Yeah.
They idolize. You idolizing some shoes.
And the sad part
They're
is,
meant
there's
to
so many
walk
other
in.
cool shoes other than Jordans. Jordans ain't even
But my
like
thing
at this
is,
point in the game. Jordans is like not even on the top. To me, not on the top tier no more. It's a whole lot of other better shoes out there on the market right now that look fly.
this this my thing. Me personally, I don't dress by name brands. You see me, I'm dressed because I'm comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't even know the name of my shoes. I know they're comfortable on my feet and they match what I
You
got on.
know?
That's what I know. And I still look good. That's all I know. That's all that matters to me. You feel me? So
Gotta know
listen,
what you call
I,
it.
I, I have I have zero pair of sneakers in my closet. Zero.
Oh, see, yeah.
I could
Well,
care
then,
less about
yeah.
last time I owned a pair of sneakers. Really, like I remember when we were growing up, people used to go to the mall and wait outside the mall before the mall opened up for Jordan, and they still do that now. Like in
Yeah.
2020,
They
really
have
I've
art.
done that
for
before, but
Jordan,
I mean, like once it
the same
became
ones that
like
came
the
out
way it is
10 years
now, it's
ago.
too much.
They
Yeah,
have
the same ones
auctions.
you got in the closet.
They have
Exactly for sneakers. You feel me?
for
Like they
sneakers.
don't
They have
appreciate with
auctions.
value. You feel me?
Yeah, man,
Like
but you
I
also
don't
got auctions
understand
for
it.
treasure trove. So it's like, it's collectors to people like that. So it's like whatever
You feel
your
me? Like,
thing is that you collect, I guess that's what their thing is. You got people that
True.
be like, oh my God, it's a quartz crystal, and that's what get them riled up. So I think it's just,
Uncut
but
gems.
but I definitely
man,
feel you on Jordan specifically because it's like, why do we gotta have like you don't want no
the
casual shit?
second thing that pisses me off this week, anti-masker.
Oh my
What?
yes, God Jesus.
Anti what?
Anti-mask.
Anti-masker. Yes,
Anti-mask.
anti-masker.
Yeah, they
Oh
don't want
shit.
to wear their
Yes,
mask in public.
yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Hell yeah, trying to kill everybody.
Now,
Because they don't want to do because they want to politicize it.
Survival of the fittest will
my
get rid of them.
logic, my logic is this: we are the freest nation on earth. Yes, we are, and you have the right to do basically almost anything you want. That's morally correct, but isn't putting your health and somebody else's health purposely in danger morally incorrect?
I don't know about the morals of it, but what I believe is everybody got their rights, and your rights should not infringe upon the rights of somebody else. So you got the right to
Exactly.
do whatever you want to do until that right
Yes,
infringes upon
exactly.
my right. And you're not wearing your mask infringes upon my right to
Mhm.
be healthy in a
Mhm.
reasonable space where I should feel comfortable being healthy. So that's where it becomes a problem for me. And I feel super. I'm 100% with you on this one, face, because I literally almost fought
I
a dude at
get
the gas
tired.
station like 2, 3 days ago because he was close to me with no
Mm.
mask on, and I had to push him back. Hey man, get my 6 feet, and you ain't got no mask on. I don't know what's wrong with you, but I don't play like that. Like my health is. I ain't bringing nothing home to my cat to my
Yeah,
child.
I'm sorry. I can't get
I'm with
down with
you.
it. I
Preach that
I
good
I
word.
I hate it. I hate like like hate
Big time.
anti-mask.
Big
You
time.
That
want to wear you want to wear a mask? Be in your own place. Do your
Right.
own thing. Stay in your house. You can't have both ways. You I don't want to stay in the house, and I don't want to wear no mask when I go outside. If you want to come outside, put a mask on, man. That's simple.
is natural
And
That's
selection.
it.
Don't care.
I got a breathing problem. I got a breathing problem. So
I had a
you got
breathing
a breathing problem.
problem.
You're gonna have an even worse
You
breathing problem.
did you just now get one? Oh, you been had this before now, and you haven't sought no medical treatment for your breathing problem. You just accepted that. Well, accept putting the fucking mask on now. That's part of your breathing problem. Put the fucking mask on.
Hot ass
Last thing.
breath.
Yes, I want to stamp that.
Now, I already hate going in Wally World. We all know that stands for the W mark. I hate going in there. But when I have to go in there, the thing that really pisses me off is that one loud motherfucker in the line. And one loud person, I want to see a battle. Fuck this line. I can leave. Motherfucker, leave.
Karen.
Leave, motherfucker. Don't nobody want. We all mad as a line, but you the only loud motherfucker got to make it sense.
Yo,
Did that
every
make you
time
feel
I'm at
any better?
Walmart, yes, yes, yeah.
An entitled ass motherfucker.
And I feel like it's Walmart
Yeah,
specific because when I go to like Kroger or something, everybody be just chilling, relaxing. You stand in
yes,
line. You even have people that be the made friends because they been in line so long. Like, they ain't nobody tripping. Like, hey, we know
Harris
it's crowded. We get it. But
Harris
like
Teeter.
at Walmart, every time it is a long line. It is literally, I don't know whether they plant a loud person there just for the
always a
ambiance,
problem.
but it's
In their pajamas.
always.
Yo,
In pajama pants.
yo,
That is
They
such a
always
weirdly
yo,
specific thing that I did not ever like think nobody else paid attention to. But
they
yes,
they
I
it's
always
hate
in
it's
that
pajama
shit.
always
pants.
I hate that shit.
And got a bunch of cases of water under their basket.
And this is my thing.
With their
It's not just
pajamas.
black. It's all races that do it.
Yes.
All races.
Yes, it
You feel
is.
me? And
Especially in
anytime more than one
Chesapeake.
person does it, it be quiet. It be quiet. It be long lines. Everybody understand. Oh shit, they ain't got but 3 lines. Damn, this how this store go anyway. We all do it. We all way back here. Okay, I guess I got to wait if I want this stuff. One loud motherfucker. Why is it lines so long? Obviously, it's long because there's only 3 lines open. Use your eyes. Put some context clues will answer most of your questions. You ain't got to be live. Do you want to make a scene? Do you want them to call police on you and have you pick out the store? For what? Patience is a virtue. Please
Big facts.
adapt that. Adapt to that. Patience is a virtue. Don't be that loud motherfucker in the stuff that everybody looking at. And now everybody wants to take their blessing out on you. It's one thing we gotta wait in line. It's another thing to have to listen to your live or something.
And stop wearing pajamas every time you go to Walmart. Being loud. Like they always wearing their pajamas, the fuzzy ones.
Yep. So the
I know that
moral of
was
the
random.
story is shut the hell up and wear your mask.
Man,
And clean pajamas.
my next to move on to my next topic, man. Last week I brought up the smell theory and I broke down the different elements of it and what it's comprised of. So this week I figure I go just a little bit further into like the beginning of the smell theory and like the motivation part, or the self motivation part I should say,
I
and
love it.
the self and how that comes after the self awareness. Now
Preach to us,
the
guru
motivation
face.
now. Oh, you know, I'm gonna try that. I'm gonna try that. The self awareness that comes with, like I said, recognizing you and all your flaws and just understanding them. So, like a lot of times we can't admit the flaws we have. When somebody try to tell us the truth, they say the truth hurts, but most people don't accept that. They get mad, walk away, start an argument, whatever. When someone is telling you the God honest truth about yourself, and you can't accept it. You gotta take that long, hard look in the mirror and be aware of your flaws and accept it. If you're a liar, admit that. Damn, I am a liar. Shit, like, damn, I'm a thief. I steal a lot, and I didn't know it. I'm a thief. Damn. You feel me? Like admit who you are to yourself. So stop being in denial to yourself. Self denial is the worst thing. You can't move forward in life doing anything positive being in self denial. You can't achieve your best self not admitting to yourself who you are. You have no understanding. Next part before you motivate yourself is knowing where you stand with yourself. It's a lot of people always taught you got to make others happy, make sure everyone's happy around you. But in order to do that correctly, you must be happy first. You must always attain that you come first to you. So to make a list, of 10 things, then cut that list down to 5 things, and cut that list down to 3 things, cut that list down to 2 things, and down to 1. If at the end that one thing is not yourself, reevaluate your priorities. You got to move forward, putting yourself first, because you can't do nothing for nobody else if you can't hold yourself down. You can't help anybody else pay their bills if you can't pay your bills. Then I can't help you build yourself up. I can't help you build yourself up if I'm always feeling down by myself. What positive words can I give you if I'm always feeling down on myself? Put yourself first so you can help others be up. Now, the motivation part. Once you are aware of yourself, motivating yourself to get to the next level. You feel me? Motivation comes in as far as, let's see it. Once again, you can take it to making a list. Short, attainable goals. Know what you want to do. Focus in on that. Once you know what you want to do, it's easy to figure out how you want to do it. But once you run around rampant, you have no idea, have no focus. What are you focused on? You have none. So you everywhere. You can't move forward because you're spread so thin. Once you can dial down and focus in on that one thing you want or 1 or 2 things you want and put that focus in on it, you can motivate yourself to the next steps. It's all about short, attainable goals. When you plot and plan and you're too long and you don't know the steps in between, you often fall short. Set your
Church.
goals. You can have your 10-year plan. You can have your 20-year plan, but make sure you have a 2-year plan or a 1-year plan in between those long plans so you can still stay on goal for those main goals. You always want to make sure you're self-checking yourself. Make sure you're keeping yourself on track. It's not no one else's responsibility to maintain you and you being up. Like I said before, too many times we put the strain on our loved ones, the strain on our friends that, man, y'all need to hold me up, man. I need y'all to push me forward when I'm like this. At first, man, you gotta have the strength to hold yourself up.
Mm-hmm.
I can't help it. I
Big
can't help
facts.
you if you don't want to help yourself. If you ain't willing to help yourself, I can't help you. You feel me?
Yeah.
We've all
Oh
had
yeah.
times where we've been in a dark place and we didn't want no help. So regardless of what positivity came our way, we closed off to it. It wasn't until we were willing to open up to that positivity that we were able to accept it and move forward. You got to be willing to, once again, know who you are, accept what you are, know what you want to do, and then figure out how you want to do it. Get that done. Now you motivate. Once you're motivated, we can take it to the second level, self elevation. But that's next week.
I love it. I love it.
To
Y'all
be
gonna get on this
continued.
smell theory. Y'all better smell yourselves out here, man. Get yourselves right, people. 2021 coming, whether you looking forward or not. And if you won't ready for 2020, you better get ready for 2021 because we don't know what's gonna happen, but you want to be as prepared as you can. And you know what I'm saying? Smelling yourself is definitely a good way to get that started. Um, with that, man, I think that's it for this week, man. We are out of time. We have definitely covered a lot this week. Look forward to next week when we got our end of the year show, the last Podnas show of 2020. The next time you will hear from us, it will be 2021, a whole new year, a whole new us. Well, the same us. Bump that. We're gonna still be the same us, but the year will be different, and we're gonna definitely be continuing to upgrade. Yeah, look out over the next couple of weeks. You will be seeing more video clips. You may even see a best of where I kind of give you some of the video clips from all of our episodes up until now. You'll definitely be seeing clips coming from this week's episode. And as always, this week's episode will be uploaded on Wednesday, midnight. It's dropping. Get ready. Get ready.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Face, Pat,
Make
what
sure
y'all got on y'all
y'all.
end?
Oh yeah, make sure y'all stay tuned. I got more snap theory videos dropping soon. I got once or two every week. This week or next week we're gonna take it into the self awareness, go further deep into that. So if y'all listen to the podcast, y'all will get brief snippets of what the next video will be full into. So if y'all keep training on the podcast, y'all will always have a brief knowledge of what's going on in the next video as far as smell theory. But if y'all listen to the whole smell theory series, so y'all have a full encompassed view of what I'm talking about when I'm talking about smell yourself. Other than that, of course, we got the two stores, teespring.com/stores /podmas -closet -1. And then we have teespring.com /stores /face -code -2. Both stores, good apparel, wearable apparel, breathable apparel. Still have some spring items up for right now, but we're going full winter in a few days. Face masks available on both stores. Uh, like I said, you got to watch the content for the promo codes. Watch all content to get all promo codes. And that's all I got on my end. Pat?
If you're on Facebook, hashtag the partners, ThePodnas. That's the fastest way to get to our page, which is Tiz Face Pat are the partners. If you're on Instagram and Twitter, it's the same thing at the partners, ThePodnas. And I'd like to thank all of y'all that gave us 990 views on our reel with the
Blessings,
smell
blessings,
theory.
blessings.
We had 990. I was looked at that the other day. I was like, oh
That's
shoot,
dope.
I ain't even peeped this.
That's big
So
facts,
thank
though.
y'all. Thank y'all, and we
Thank you,
appreciate
thank
y'all.
you, thank you.
Yes, man. I think that's the perfect way to end on just that note of gratitude. Thank you for every follow, like, every comment, every retweet, every repost, every share, every view, like however you have interacted with anything that we have done up until this point. we thank you. It just continues to edify us as we continue our journey chasing our dreams, man. Appreciate y'all being on the journey with us. Continue to join the conversation with us every week. As always, I am 1/3 of the Podnas. Your boy Tiz, along with
It's the Padawan.
It's your boy Face out in the country, man.
Gang. Podnas, man. Pod Squad, we out. See y'all next week, guys.
Peace.
What's going on, y'all? This is Face 1/3 of Podnas. Make sure y'all come to YouTube every Wednesday and check out our new episode of the Podnas Podcast. Also, check us out online for our new apparel dropping every week. That'll be at teespring.com/stores/Podnas-closet-1. Once again, that's teespring.com/stores/Podnas, PODNAS-closet, CLOSET-1. We get at you.
Just updated on the store. We have mugs, hoodies, shirts, bags, kids' clothes, and face masks. Show you are down with the Pod Squad. Rep the Podnas by going to teespring.com/stores/Podnas-closet-1 to get all of our newest merch. And as always, follow our entire movement at thepodnas.com.
Welcome to the Podnas with Face, Pat, and Tiz.